How often have you told a lie, held a secret, and so parts of your life unravel? Or how often has someone confided in you that they're holding a secret or they're lying and you regretted knowing their secret? These are what I call cancers, secrets and lies that destroy our relationships and our lives if we let them. So, how do we prevent them? How do we deal with them? If that's an issue for you, then stick around. This is the topic of today's YouTube episode. So, welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Lucille, and this is my channel, Dr. Lucille on Relationships. And today's topic is avoid these relationship bombs, secrets and lies. Now, my mission overall is to help people, both individually and collectively, heal from all the relationship traumas that we have endured over the last 5 years, so that we may come together and create the life that we all really desire, and maybe even experience unconditional love. So, listen, folks, we've all lied, right? And we have also witnessed over the past 5 years an incredible unfolding and unraveling of the lies that we've been told about a certain health issue, which really ruptured a lot of our relationships, our trust in institutions. And now, as I'm recording this, we have even more revelations of lies, deceits, horrible abuses that have been committed by those people that many of us trusted, celebrities, gurus, spiritual advisors, political leaders, and on it goes. So, listen, it's easy to lie. We learn how to do it when we're kids, right? It's a very impulsive maneuver to get what we want and avoid punishment for it. It's a quick fix. But we've seen so many ways that it can backfire on us. So when we see how many lies and secrets there are in our society as a whole, it's very easy for us to point fingers. Oh my God, look at what he did. I had no idea. Or look at how she deceived everybody. We can go on and on pointing fingers at others, but truthfully, if we're going to cleanse this world of all this, what I call relationship cancer, we have to start in our own backyards with ourselves. So, there are three ways really that secrets and lies can impact our world, our personal worlds, okay? Now, the first one is our relationship with ourselves. And it's interesting because those people who hold secrets, and even for a short period of time, they have physical consequences to that behavior. You are causing great stress, unless you happen to be a sociopath, in which case you wouldn't care. It doesn't cause any stress at all. But the vast majority of us still have good hearts. We have a conscience. And so physically, what happens when we hold secrets and we lie is that we're pumping out cortisol. We're trying to hold everything together and be vigilant about not revealing what's going on. So that can do things like increase our blood pressure, our heart rates, even affect our metabolism, blood sugar levels, causes ongoing anxiety and insomnia, And so it has a toll. It takes a toll on the human body. And the longer it has a hold on us, the more diseased we can become. Okay, so that's one aspect of the detriment to us personally. But the other one, of course, is the mental detriment. I mentioned anxiety. That's one of the biggest. And then there's the guilt and the shame. And those are very, very toxic emotions that can amp up our stress no end. There's also the sense of we are providing evidence. We are providing evidence to that inner demon that keeps telling us how bad and awful we are. Even if we haven't engaged in lying or secrecy, the inner demon is always there, and it's always saying things to us like, oh, you're a loser. Oh, you can't do that. Don't expect to ever become a success. You're incapable. You're incompetent. And on it goes, right? But then start lying and holding secrets, and you're really handing that inner demon evidence against you. And you can then find yourself bombarded with all sorts of accusations and falsehoods. And, well, they're real, they're real statements, basically telling you how bad you are. And it's hard to refute because, yeah, you've been deceitful. So you're going to hear the inner voice saying, oh, you're fake, you're phony, you're dishonest, you're a liar. You have no integrity. So it's going to definitely erode your self-esteem. And that's horrendous. That can really feel like an internal cancer eating away at you. Now, we also have these tendencies to then become very, very hyper-vigilant about maintaining the secrets, maintaining the lies. And even that, just always scanning our environment and scanning our own behavior, scanning our thoughts, trying to keep ourselves looking like everything's all together and there's nothing wrong. That hypervigilance is very, very draining and very stressful. Now, you can say, well, but we also can engage in little white lies. Little white lies. Makes it sound so good. So nice, right? I don't want to really tell my partner that I'm going out for lunch with my ex. It would only hurt them. And, what's the harm? I'm just going out for lunch with the ex. But the unintended consequence is, again, the internal conflict about doing something that's deceiving someone you love. The unintended consequence also may be something like, oh, a mutual friend of you and your spouse sees you out to lunch and they start talking about it. That can be painful, very, very painful ripple effect or even tidal wave effect on your partnership. So even the quote-unquote little white lies, we can't deceive ourselves. There's nothing little and there's nothing white about them, really, if you come right down to it. And you might ask, well, you know what? I know people who I found out they were carrying secrets and lies and they got away with it. They died or whatever and nobody was the wiser. And, there were rumors floating around, but, they never paid any consequences for it. Well, actually, that may not be true. And why do I say that? Because I do psychotherapy with a lot of people, especially people who have been victims of abuse. And I've heard more than once, in fact, many occasions, where the person who's been victimized is approached by the perpetrator as they are nearing the end of their lives, and the perpetrator will ask for forgiveness. Horrible, I know, but they do. So sometimes you have to factor into the equation that it may look like they kept the abuse a secret. However, it still ate away at their conscience. So that's number one, how secrets and lies erode our relationship with ourselves. But then there's the incredible damage that it can do to our tribe, to our families, to our friends, to our employers, our coworkers, and on it goes. Infidelity, for example, is one of the most traumatic things that a person in a marriage can ever experience. And it is so hard to come back from that, even if the perpetrator of the infidelity really does want to come back and make amends and work on the relationship. It's extremely hard because once that trust has been broken, your partner, your spouse, is going to really protect themselves very, very strongly. So, they have estimated that it may take up to 2 to 5 years, the people who study this sort of thing, 2 to 5 years for people in this kind of situation who are both committed to working on the marriage and fixing and healing the wounds. It takes that long to finally develop trust, and it requires so much commitment on both parts. You have to come clean 100%. And you have to hash out everything. And you cannot even look sideways at your partner without explaining why you're looking sideways at your partner. So it's very, very difficult. Also, infidelity affects everybody that's connected with that couple. Children will often feel very wounded and hurt. They will harbor thoughts like, we weren't enough. In-laws, the actual parents of the people involved, also feel like their lives have just been destroyed and they don't know how to come back from it. It's like the ground beneath their feet just got up and damaged, and they don't know where to find solid ground anymore. And they're angry, and they are bitter, and they are so hurt and so wounded themselves. Infidelity is a real cataclysmic event in a community, in a family system. But also, just the lies that can sometimes happen, when we tell a lie to a friend or we tell a lie to our boss or a coworker, whatever. It is never, a great assumption to think that you can just get away with it. It's remarkable. It's remarkable how these things can come out and really be very damaging. And then people lose their jobs. Their coworkers start scapegoating them. Friends just abandon you. This is not a joke. It's really, really painful. So the third way that secrets and lies can impact us is the damage to trust in our institutions, our authority figures, social organizations. And we've seen a lot of that over the last 5 years, and we're seeing it continually as more and more revelations come out about how we've been lied to. And people can be traumatized by that. Not only do they develop cynicism and mistrust of, for example, the government, the educational system, the religious institutions, but it can traumatize them because they have based their lives, their stability, their sense of security, their sense of safety in the world on the belief that these institutions are there to take care of us, to protect us. And once we find out that they aren't there to protect us, they're there to maintain control and power, it can throw people into despair, into rage. It can foment violence, all of the stuff we're seeing in our societies. So that's how damaging secrets and lies can be in our world. So I would suggest that next time you feel like telling a lie, being deceitful, even things like, oh, sorry, I can't meet you for dinner, I've got plans, and you don't. Or you're, doing anything, even those little white lies. There are always ways to tell the truth without revealing anything that you don't want the other person to know about. So think about the consequences to your personal growth and development, to those around you, to your spiritual evolution. Whenever you get the urge to tell a lie, have the courage to face up to it and decide, how can I deal with this in an honest way, in integrity? And another thing that we need to stay clean on is about confiding secrets and lies to our friends, or being the friend that is basically being the receptacle for someone else's lie or secret. That's a really difficult place to be. It can make things so awkward for you. I've been in situations where I've had friends confide in me that they're having affairs on their partners. And they just kind of blurt it out. And then I realize, this is going to make it so hard for me to remain friends with the partner that they're cheating on. It's very, very difficult. So even if someone comes up to you and they start telling you a secret, you might want to ask yourself, really, do I want to be in on this? And it's kind of like getting informed consent for a treatment that a doctor is proposing. You're going to ask yourself, really, what are the pros and cons of me holding this? And you're going to stop the person in mid-sentence maybe and say to them, listen, please tell me why you're telling me this. I'm not sure I'm comfortable hearing it. That's your prerogative. That's your entitlement. So be aware. Clean up your act if you're feeling like you want to tell a lie, and protect yourself if someone's trying to load you or dump you with their secret or lie. So anyway, I hope that some of this has been of value to you. It's been thought-provoking. And I would love to hear your comments on the subject, your own personal experiences. And if you do enjoy this episode, then please give it a like, share it out, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next episode.